Well, I thought today would be a good day to wire in the new light that I bought for the hot rod the other day. I did go ahead and clean it up, a little Windex here, and I'm going to attempt to put a light bulb in here. I've got all these boxes of old lights. I never throw anything away, so I'm going to see if I can take the insides out of one of these lights and put it in there, put a light bulb in there, hook it up to my brake lights and my running lights, and see how that looks. Okay, I found a light I can use. I've got several of these things, but it would be quite a interesting chore to mount all of that inside that little light. So I did find one of these old-fashioned lights here. Okay, I take it back. In looking through my lights, I found this one, which has sort of the old style light mounted on a piece of metal here. It looks like if I flip those two ears off, I can pull that whole piece of metal and that light out. That'll give me that piece of metal to put inside there and mount. That'll be easier than cutting up this old light. And who knows, I might wish I'd had that old light saved at some point on an old car. So I'll use this instead. I think that'll work. And it looks like it's got a nice, clean, new light set up in it. So that should be perfect. Okay, before I go too far, I always like to test my stuff before I put it into place. That would be my running light. That would be my brake light. So that works. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. This piece of metal here, basically what I did was I just bent it and curled it with the idea that I believe I could curl it like a spring and slip it right inside this brass lamp. Okay, here's what I've come up with. When I had all that metal work up in here, the bulb was actually taller than the top of the light up here. So what I did instead is I went down under here and I kind of curled up that metal in such a way where it sort of fits in here like a clamp. You sort of squeeze it together, push it up in here, and then it fits snug up in this part, and then the part that the light goes into comes up through this hole, which I had to enlarge just a little bit. And having done that, I can get my bulb in there. Here's my two wires, which I'll run over to the brake and the running light, and this should be grounded on this metal. So I guess the next thing to do is get me a hot wire over here and test it and see if it's working, and then if it is, see how it looks once it is working. Okay, what I've done is I've ran a wire from my running light here and made sure that it was hot, which it is. You can see it lighting up the tester there. And then I ran it over here to the bulb, and that's the dim light, or the running light, and that's the brake light. And to be honest with you, I think that looks kind of honking. You can sort of see the bulb in there, but it really does a lot. It kind of goes right along with the old-fashioned look of it. So I'm liking that a lot. So pretty much all I got to do is attach this wire that's in my hand to that wire where I'm getting my fire, attach this wire to my brake line. That should be good. Okay, I've got my brake light wired in, and it's kind of interesting. I don't know if you can see it, but there's all these little places where this thing was vented so that fire could be in there. So there's these little tiny holes all the way around the edge, which are going to light up when the lights are on. And there's a red diamond light on the side. And then that's what it looks like with the brake light. And then there's this green light on the other side. And that's what it looks like. Like I say, with the brake lights, I'll go, I'll set you right here, and I'll just switch that over to the running light so you can see that. Okay, that's brake lights off and regular running lights on. And that's a very cool old-fashioned look, in my opinion. I just love that. Okay, so I'm done with this. I'm going to work on the Volkswagen some, pull this thing out of here. Woohoo! I love it.